Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's King Stuff. Welcome to the channel, and today we got a new JJK chapter 157. Spoiler alert, this chapter was some gas, especially later on. I mean, that Yuji and Hakari dialogue, interaction, fight, everything about that was amazing. And just let you know, for anyone that is new, I don't really do like straight 157 read-throughs like I'm doing bubble for bubble and all that. I just don't do that. I don't enjoy doing that. So I kind of like break it down. One moment I might read, a certain panel, and I might talk more to my own thoughts. You'll get the gist of, it's something I like to do, and it's something different. So if you enjoyed that, also let me know in the comments. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. So the chapter opens up with making me holding Kirara down, and Kirara is impressed that making me figured out how to counter Kirara's technique and asks how did he know the divine dog would be pulled, or how you yourself could have been pulled. Making me said he took a chance on it, but he guessed the one with the higher curse energy output would attract the other one, which his guess was right. He says, at first I was pulled to the divine dog at the start of the fight, but when I enhanced myself with curse energy to guard, divine dog came to me instead. And this is pretty cool insight, especially on Kirara's technique, actually, because now we know if two people are marked, or two things are marked with the same star, whoever has the more curse energy output or the higher curse energy naturally will just end up being the one, the reciprocator. So like Megan me said, the divine dog, once he boosts himself up, divine dog came to him, and then it would have been vice versa if Megan me didn't enhance his curse technique. That's a nice little addition to Kirara's technique, kind of another layer to it, and also shows Megan me's intelligence, showing that he kind of guessed that might have been how the two things that are marked with the same star, how they kind of go back and forth, and it chooses which one to attract and which one to pull back. So that was a nice touch to Kirara's technique. I really like that. Now here we got the best part of the chapter by far, and we have Hakari throwing Yuji through the door, and my boy Hakari is definitely beefed up. He's similar to Todo in terms of like muscular physique, but he's not as I guess wide as Todo is. But either way, it kind of makes sense that Hakari would be kind of on the muscular side. And I gotta say, this entire sequence that led into the end of the chapter was really good, from how detailed the punches and the strikes Hakari dealt looked, and kind of the detail we got on both the hands and the faces. The anatomy of everything was pretty cool. And to Itadori's dialogue defining his role as of right now in the story was just great, and more kind of like giving us how Itadori's also feeling at the same time, what he is going through right now. So this whole thing was good, so let's get into that right now. So Hakari's beating up on Yuji viciously, but Yuji's getting up. He's not striking back because he needs Hakari to join them, so he's not gonna hit back. And the detail on Yuji's beaten up face is displayed well. You see the bruises and the blood on his nose and his face and all that, really nice. Kirara is pitching, Kirara trying to pitch into Hakari, trying to tell him to listen, which he responds by saying, I am listening, that's what I'm doing. And Hakari questioned Yuji on why do you need my help. Yuji said, because my upperclassman said you're strong. Which Hakari punches Yuji again, sending him flying, because asking another sorcerer to help is like saying, hey, risk your life with me. And he wants a favor from Yuji worthy of risking his own life for. And Hakari says old man Yaga was supposed to weed out guys like you. And I really like these statements from Hakari because it's further in characterizing him as a person. He doesn't like the notion of people doing something because they were simply told to, and how he has respect for Yaga, which is something I kind of expected, because Yaga is basically like the guy. He looks out for all the Tokyo students and people in the Tokyo school and all that, and he tested them, and like, because at the beginning, of course, the series, Yaga tests them all the time, like he did with Yuji, tests them mainly what their mindset was. He never tests people on really how strong they are, because he doesn't want to get under another ghetto. Because when Hakari said that Yuji, you're just doing this because you're told to, it kind of reminded me of Ghetto, because remember, like in Star Cosmic Vessel, Ghetto was very much of, he was kind of a yes man, or he just did whatever people told him to do because that's what he felt was right. So it kind of reminded me of that situation. I like how something like this was brought back into, and like how the mindset of a sorcerer can work and what's best, and how Tokyo students are kind of going against the grain now of just following orders. I really like that. Plus, Gojo is cool with Yaga, Hakari, and Yuta, so it makes sense that little square, they would respect each other. So Hakari respecting Yaga is something I pretty much expected. Now let's get to what Yuji said. Yuji responded by saying, I'm a cog in the system for sorcerers to continue exercising curses. And Hakari says, that's born. Which just reminded me of Todo and making me their moment of what's your type, and how, You know, Megami said whatever he said and Toto was like, oh, that's born with the tears coming down his face. That kind of made me laugh at that. But Megami screams to Yuji, that's enough. As Hakari sends Yuji flying to the other side of the parking lot with a punch. And once again, the choreography and the way Yuji's body just folded as he was just getting sent across the parking lot right there was just, it's nice. This is some of the best. I think I said this last chapter. This is definitely some of the best we've gotten in terms of choreography in a little minute with Gege. You know, I could tell he's getting a little more, he or she, depending on which one Gege is, he's getting more detail in on, you know, a lot of the facial, mainly the anatomy in terms of like, you know, the fighting and how things are coming across. I'm really good to see that. Hakari says Gojo told him his curse energy was rougher than other people. And I'm kind of wondering, I wonder if we're gonna get more input on that, because maybe I don't remember, but I don't remember people having like types or like a vibe to their curse energy, and the fact that his is rougher kind of makes sense because Hakari is, well, rough around the edges as a character. So I'm kind of, I hopefully we get a little bit more, not a lot, but like a little detail as to why that is. Maybe I just can't remember exactly who else has had like a feeling from their curse energy or some source, but it was a nice touch to add that to how, kind of as to how strong Hakari is, because when you just getting hit, you just said something close to like, it feels like I'm getting hit with a baseball bat with razors on it, which, I mean, if that's how hard like Hakari is like hitting you because of his curse energy output, that's pretty intense. It's pretty cool. Hakari's character. Yuji rises back up behind Hakari, which shocks Hakari, because I mean Hakari's hitting him pretty hard, and the fact it was the way Hakari looked. He was surprised, and he also kind of acknowledging the fact that Yuji's, you know, he's tough as hell. So I like to see that. Yuji repeats again, saying, I'm a cog and my role is to exercise curses, and if your help is needed to do that, I will follow you everywhere until you give me a yes. And he says to Hakari, senpai, what's your role? I love what Yuji says right here because it's similar to what he and Mahito were saying to each other back in Shibuya, and almost how Mahito brought Yuji to the realization of this, and how their roles were very similar in like their own little society. Like how Mahito is kind of the Yuji of that role. He's pretty much the, I'm here to kill humans. Yuji, I'm here to just exercise curses at this point, and so on and so forth. And I like how this was called back on, and honestly it defines Yuji's character, especially post Shibuya, as you know, that's kind of what he feels like right now. And there was a line of, does the eye of a cog really burn with fever, from obviously it has to be Hakari, and Kirara says to Hakari, aren't you getting heated? Hakari says to himself, I can't lie to my fever, and you know, says to him to come down so we can discuss a deal. Kirara saying no problem to Panda and Megami, but helping convince Hakari, and that Hakari's peak fever was whenever he was helping people at high school, and that's how the chapter ends. I thoroughly enjoyed this chapter. The Hakari Yuji dialogue was great, and man, Hakari is already climbing. It's like my top 10 characters for the series for me. Dude is just must see in these chapters, man. I don't know, but other than that, man, we got Hakari and Kirara on the squad. I wonder what the deal is going to be between them. I'm guessing it might involve the Fight Club somehow, because you know Hakari is running that, obviously. So you know, if he takes off and goes with them, I wonder maybe he'll like, I don't know, maybe he'll make a deal, or like say maybe that you guys come back and help or something like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting to figure out what this whole deal is going to be about, and maybe if they split up and go in groups, or it'd be cool to figure out. But one thing I'm excited to see in the upcoming chapters, because I think 158 is kind of going to be the resolution of this whole little mini arc, you know, going into the Culling Game saga. I'm interested to see just interactions, like, because you got to think all of this is happening at the same time as the Maki stuff and the Yaga passing, which is another thing. I want to see Hakari's reaction to like Gojo being sealed, Yaga's death, and all of that. But you know, eventually when everybody comes together of some sort, I would love to see like Hakari and Maki interactions, Kirara Maki, Yuta and Hakari. Like, it's so many, because these characters and JJ characters are so dynamic to me. It's part of the reason why I love the series, and seeing just how they would talk to one another is just something I look forward to. And also want to know, and I want to see like how far and how important Hakari's role is going to be in the Culling Game. I wonder if it's going to be like on the same level as like Yuta, or maybe he's just going to be doing something and like it's going to be on the same level, but it might not be power required. I don't know, but I'm just hyped for this, man. This Culling Game saga is looking pretty cool. I don't know where we're gonna go afterwards, but if we stay with this squad of, you know, Panda, Hakari, Kirara, Yuji, and Megami, I'm down for that. This squad is pretty fire. I'm looking forward to seeing what other battles we get into, who we might interact with. Never know. Maybe we going to the Joker die eventually. We got the angel woman from the angel cursed woman, whatever she is. I'm telling you, she has to be somewhat a curse. If you lived for 1,000 years, you have to be somewhat half a curse, like Sukuna was when he started out. So I'm just it's just so much to look forward to, man. We definitely got something coming. I feel like if I'm gonna just put a guess estimate out there, I'm gonna say like 160 might be one of those chapters. I'm telling you, might be one, never know. But I'm done rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know how you feel about the video overall. Do you like my thoughts? If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, like and subscribe if you want more JJK content. I mean, I'm doing the chapter reviews weekly regardless, so I'm gonna be here for a while. So with that, hope you all have a great day. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's King Stuff. Welcome to the channel, and today we got a new JJK chapter 100.